Why, hello there, everyone, and welcome to our very first Sims 4 Custom Content Booster Pack review. And today we are going to be diving into one of my absolute favorite things to do in The Sims 4, building a family farm. We are going to be looking at 3 core pieces of custom content that I can highly recommend if you would like to build a beautiful bovine experience, and if you would also like to learn the best way to possibly take care of your family farm without exhausting your Sims. The best way to bring them forth into the modern era with a piece of custom content that brought tears of relief to my eyes when I saw someone had finally created it. So without further ado, my friends, let's dive in and let's begin with this booster pack adventure of building your own farm experience. Alright, and first up on our farming set custom content booster pack is this cow! And yes, I know you guys have seen this beautiful bovine before. In fact, we've actually done quite a bit of really fun crossbreeding with this cow, but there have been some updates since you have last seen beautiful Bessie here. And that is mostly, in fact almost entirely, in thanks to the amazing Caltron's wonderful work. I mentioned offhand to her on Twitter one day, you know what would be cool? A cowbell for the cows! And she delivered! Look at this! This is the most adorable cowbell. It literally looks like it could fit just perfectly right in with that rustic touch of the laundry day pack, if you ask me. Unfortunately, there's no dangly, but that's probably a good thing because this cow actually is quite, like, you know, frisky, jumping around, very friendly. It would probably drive me absolutely mad to have the cowbell clinking all the time in my Sims house anyway. And I adore the look of it. It's just really cute. It's like this oversized little cowbell that you stick on a tiny little bovine, and it's just so cute. And with the rest of Caltron's additions for the different cow custom content bits and pieces, the whole piece comes together really well to make a convincing bovine to add to your farming family and your farmyard. So this is really fun. We have the tail, which you guys have probably seen in some of our other custom content spotlight videos, but the tail, the horns, and the cowbell all happen to be, and the cow itself happen to be, the gift of the amazing Caltron, who I babble about so much. I hope her ears are burning somewhere in the world because I'm just so tickled with all of the exotic animal mods that she's been making lately too. But if you need to know where to be able to find this particular cow, custom content not immediately assigned, then you need to go to the Caltron, go into her profile, and among the many other amazing creations I hope to spotlight in the near future, you will find a little bit further down the cow right next to a farm that you too could download and make your own, and a wolf if you are into those things, which I know many of you are. But this is the cow base, and from this base you can basically make any kind of cow that you want. And if you want to be able to have the custom content bits and pieces, then check out her website linked in the video description down below, and you're going to want to have the horns. The small horns are what I have, but if you want to go for something a little bit more of the long horn variety, that is available to you too. And so you can see you can make like longer horns. There's different color horns that you could add in to your cow. You could go ahead and take away the horns if you want, because I know that actually a lot of the breeds don't have active horns anymore. They're kind of cut off when they're little. So you can have just a little horn. I think a little cow horn is kind of cute on this cow. And then you can have the cowbell, which is the kind of the spotlight of this current focus. I really, really love it. Comes in lots of colors: a black cowbell, a brownish cowbell, a white cowbell. Oh, look at this one where it looks like an actual bell. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. That is just so cute. Oh, I love all of it. Oh my goodness. I think that's my favorite actually, and I didn't expect that. That's really cute. And you also want to make sure to snag the cow tail. Definitely an important thing to do if you want to have a more naturalistic looking tail. It really, really does help with the illusion of the bovine to add in that tail. And just like that, voila, you have got a cow. And I did not mention the feet, and that's actually because I am using Kismet's feet at the moment. These are actually from Kismet, who I have linked to in the video description as well. And they are the split hooves on her cow, just because I like the color of the gray a little bit more. However, Caltron does have the split hooves for cows as well that you can download. Cows are really anything that needs these hooves, now that I think of it. But it just was a completely personal preference of liking that color of gray with the beautiful Holstein spots that this cow has. And remember guys, it's not like you're limited to just this cow appearance. You can paint your cow whatever colors you want. You want a great big blue cow? My friends, you can go ahead and have one. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Yeah, if you want a blue cow, you can totally have one. All you have to do is just dive into the paint tools, and if you want to have a lot of fun, you can even try different coat patterns and different coat colors that some of the dogs have, and just see what would it be like if you had, you know, a cow. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looks like you would really have to dive in and kind of mess with the coat patternings. But what would it be like if you had a cow that had maybe like these really cool spots instead? That's so cool. So you could make yourself some really fantastic custom breeds, or you could try looking up and playing around with some of the really awesome information out there and available for different cow varieties. Yes, friends, I encourage you to go forth and educate yourself about the great Oreo cow, also known as the belted cow. Oreo cow is my beloved nickname for it. And maybe you could even go ahead and start playing with the different fur lengths, which some of them you may have more success than with others, to kind of create like a Highland variety of cow. It really doesn't have to just be a black and white spotted cow. And if you want to just have a really unique farm, you totally can just work on it that way. And if you want to have a really, really unique farm, you can leave your cow out. Just go ahead and leave your cow out in the yard. You know, don't take them to the vet to become spayed or neutered. And the next thing you know, you're gonna have a really unique looking cow. So it would be quite fun if you wanted to carry through. If you happen to have an unexpected cow dog born in your yard, don't despair. Just a couple little assignments of hooves, horns, and tail, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got yourself another cow. But you may be asking, what do you do once you have these beautiful bovines? So, what to do with your new beautiful bovines? Stick them on a farm, of course, my friends. Just look at them. Look how natural they are, howling at the dawn in the corner there. Act more like cows, you two. But yes, so this is how adorable it would look if you gave your beautiful bovines their very own corral and you stuck them inside on a farm. And in this instance, we are over at the cow plant farm, currently peeking in. Don't worry if you are an avid watcher of the cow plant challenge and legacy. We are not going to be having these little ones end up showing up permanently just yet. But I just wanted to show you how cool it was if you actually go ahead and add the cows in on a farm. Even if you don't plan on really spending a lot of time kind of interacting with the bovines because your Sims are doing other Simsy things, it does add such an environmental touch, especially if we turned this entire area just into a big corral and you had a few cows kind of roaming around in the corner. Maybe you could add in a cow and a horse and you could see which one of your Sims children ended up really falling for all of the different animals. I think that'd be really cool. I think that would be a lot of fun. And there's something about a Holstein cow, a black and white spotted cow on a farm that just kind of completes the pretty picture, if you ask me. So yeah, I'm very, very happy with this. And I'm very happy with continuing to build the illusion of the cow, to build the illusion of the bovines on this farm. And one of the big ways that you can actually do that is by giving them a place to sleep. If you want to give them a nice pet bed that is going to be more naturalistic. And that is where we are actually in at the second of my recommendations for this farming custom content booster pack collection. And that is actually with Bakey's invisible pet beds. Yes, look at them. Aren't they glorious? And yes, I know you can't see a darn thing, but that's the whole point of having Bakey's invisible beds. I really love them, and they're actually meant for both large and small animals. Although you can't see it, there is a pet bed here. As you can see, I can kind of drag it around. You can put it straight up into the flowers, which I really adore. So I can send this, let's go ahead and have this cow who's trying to charm the other cow. That's adorable. Just imagine if you let them free range. Oh my goodness, you might end up with some really cool cow crossbreeds. Maybe you could sell the puppies, and that's how you would end up, or excuse me, the calves, and that's how you would end up deciding that your cows were bringing in profit, since you can indeed sell the baby animals. I've never done it, but I know from rumor that it's possible to do in The Sims 4. But check this out. Look at how happy this cow is taking a little lie down in the grass, and it just really helps to build that sort of naturalistic look. So you have provided a bed for the animal, so its needs are going to be met, and you have also provided a natural touch, so you won't have the sort of breaking of the illusion of sticking the cows in a dog bed, for instance. So that really helps as well. But then you may be wondering, okay, but what about Mr. Brown Cow over here? Maybe he's hungry. Like, maybe he really wants to eat something. So that's where the move objects on cheat comes in. It's not perfect. I really need to see if there's some sort of new food sources for the animals. I would love if there was like a big pile of grass, or maybe even that seaweed that came in the Sims 4 Cats and Dogs redone. I would love if like a modder out there could maybe add in some of the actual objects that can continue to help build the illusion of a whole bunch of exotic animals. But in the cow's defense, I know that my sister's husband's family feeds their cows a bunch of kibble now and then, and when it's like winter months and they need to have like some pellets of protein, or like, you know, pellets of nutrition. So you could just leave like the little food dish out, but if you wanted to just like, if you kind of pull back a little bit, you don't see anything in this little patch of flowers, and continue to build the illusion of the cow, then what you could do is you could go ahead and, using the move objects on cheat abundantly with some of the grass that's available. I think some of this is unlocked grass that I have actually downloaded. I'll have to do a different spotlight video to give you guys the exact links. But if you cover it up with grass and flowers, you can actually fill up the food bowl, and then you can actually direct the cow to come on over. Yes, very happy brown cow. And they will go ahead and eat the flowers. Yes, the kibble's hiding in there, but it's really cool because it's very difficult to see if you add enough plants. Everything in life is better with more plants. And it looks like the cow is just eating the grass, and your Sims, as normal, will start queuing up the desire to fill up the food bowls. I think it would be a lot harder to hide the endlessly refilling food bowl, so you might have to kind of maintain your cow by making sure the hidden kibble was taken care of. But there you go. That's another way where you can kind of hide the illusion of the dog and blend in so you can make the cow sort of fit in better. You can also go ahead and gate in your cow like this so you don't end up with your cow on the bed or the couch and things like that, and locking it so that you don't allow the big dogs. So if you wanted to like make sure you could lock it so all dogs weren't allowed in, oh, see, he's like making an escape for it. What I did is I came in and I said, okay, all dogs cannot leave. Oh no, we have an escaped brown cow. Okay, I'll have to catch him later. And that will keep the cows in this area unless the Sims want to come in and play with them, which is really cool. And if you're wondering, but what's the point of having a cow? What would I do with a cow? Well, like I mentioned earlier, if you have enough space in your family inventory or your family size, and if you happen to have the mod that allows you to have unlimited family size, you might breed your cows. You might leave your cow out to have amazing cow crossbreeds and sell them to Mad Scientist Sims or my laboratory for my Sims Random Genetics Challenge series. Or you might actually go and you might make use of the cow by going ahead and collecting up the cow patties, because a farm is not just cows. A farm is also the plants. And if this cow happens to leave behind some fertilizer, then fantastic. You can come on over. You can go ahead, you can pick up the fertilizer, and you could use it on your mini assorted plants. So that too is an option. And if you are hoping for perhaps your cow patties to be of a slightly more interesting variety, then you could always feed your cow the poop randomizer, just like I suggested for the rainbow unicorn poop episode that we did a little bit ago. Never in my life did I think I would utter those words, and here I am saying them again. Or if you want to let your cows free range, maybe just lock it so they can't go inside of the house, or even give them access to some of the unlocked little bushes that came with the Sims 4 cats and dogs, so they can dive into the bushes and maybe they can fight squirrels. You might leave your cows free to roam because they could potentially bring in new toys and new objects by going and investigating. I think they can rummage in the bushes. You could let them go free so they could go ahead and dig. If you didn't want to contain your cows, you could put down the dig spots if you have installed mods. You could put down bushes. It looks like this is just the normal bush that came with Get Together for Windenburg. You could put that in the cows' area, their little corral, and they'll go ahead and dig around in the bush and pop back out, sometimes with being bitten by a squirrel. So you might still need to make sure maybe this is a great opportunity to build a country vet clinic instead of just a vet clinic, for instance. You might want to make sure that your cows are up to date on all of their shots so they don't end up getting infected from a squirrel or something like that. And it also might really be worth it. Mr. Cow, you were supposed to go and explore that bush. Get over here. Oh my gosh. All right. He doesn't want to explore that bush. What about this bush? Explore this bush, cow. Maybe he'll do that. We'll have to see. All right. He's being super duper stubborn. I'm hoping he's off. He's off. Brown cow is off. And sure enough, if you use the bushes that come with Get Together, then ta-da! You can leave the bush inside of your cow corral, and they can entertain themselves during the day, collecting up items for you. And you could consider that kind of like quote-unquote milking your cow, so that they are giving you some sort of product that your farm can use and benefit from. Or you can have some product from the other end and use some fertilizer for your plants. Or you could feed them some of the poop randomizers and maybe get lucky with some golden poop. It's all up to you. I just really think that they're a very charming addition to the farm. And by the way, speaking of those plants, I do think it is time to go and celebrate the third very special and very amazing addition to this farming booster pack. All right, you guys, we have to wait for it for a little bit. It's going to take a while. In fact, we might have to go ahead and speed through. But if you watch carefully, there we go! Celebration, my friends. Check that out. What on earth is this? This random misting of water? This, my friends, is an automatic sprinkler for the garden. Oh my gosh, it's kind of like the cherry on top of everything that I have collected up for my beloved cow plant farm, because it is what should be in the game, and I am so happy. May I introduce to you, my friends, the spotlight of this particular mod little review, the Set It and Forget It Garden Sprinkler by Brazen Lotus. Are you tired of lugging gallons of water back and forth to the garden for hours at a time? Do you hate handing your hard-earned simoleons over to that lazy gardener? We have the solution for you. Just a large initial investment. You too can save a ton of time and money with our automatic sprinkler. Just turn it on and let it do the work for you. And there you have it, my friends. Finally, an automatic sprinkler for The Sims 4, which I used to think was kind of cheaty because you can make so much money with The Sims 4. However, being $600 a piece, that's really well balanced from Brazen Lotus. I really highly approve of the fact that it's actually that expensive, because it will make it more of an investment if you are trying to run a family farm, for instance, to buy a whole bunch of those little sprinklers. And I also appreciate they only do a 3x3 grid area. So if you really want to go through and you really want to tackle a whole bunch of your farmland, like if you want to have a gigantic farm and fill this entire thing with plants, and you want to be able to farm those plants and just harvest them, weed them, I mean, really honestly, harvesting them, weeding them, evolving them, fertilizing them, and being able to spray them for bugs is enough to keep you super busy. But if you want to really run a farm, putting down these sprinklers like so and letting just the watering part be taken care of is fantastic. You do have the trade-off of not being able to build the gardening skill. That's true. However, I really think it's worth it for a whole bunch of the other factors, especially because there's just so much to do. I've had poor Devin, and I've had the great aunt Amelia here, or Allison. Sorry, Allison. I don't know why I want to call you Amelia all the time. I have had those two watering this garden frantically, and they normally only get through half of it every day. And that just doesn't feel entirely realistic for me, for the fact that they're living in the modern era. They kind of could fly to Granite Falls if they want to. The toddler plays with a tablet, for crying out loud. We have modern plumbing. If I can build really, really fancy, expensive resorts, then I would hope I would be able to at least use a sprinkler on my plants. And finally, that desire has come to fruition, and it's keeping my fruits fruiting, keeping my plants watered, and really amazing. I think the animation is absolutely hilarious. I think it's the fountain animation gone wild, and it's so much fun. It's so useful, and it's just like a relief to have my farming Sims lives back just a touch. I mean, look, there's still so much they have to harvest. There's still so much that they need to evolve. It's still going to keep me super busy, but the watering was kind of beginning to become something that was a little ridiculous, especially considering I'm not trying to play, like, if you're gonna play a really old-fashioned farming family and you want to really grind in that challenge of having that extra step because you're trying not to really put in like that more modern touch, then yeah, leave the sprinklers out. But if you're trying to kind of run a well-to-do family farm in a modern day and age, then having some sprinklers is just, it's so matter of fact. And I'm so relieved to have them, because it frees up my Sims to be able to have personalities and lives with stories that I can follow and tell again, instead of just being mindless watering slaves. And it just didn't feel right to like just let the gardener do it all the time or abuse the club perks to have stranger Sims do it. So this is really nice. I really enjoy this. I especially like the fact that it does cost a lot of money, so it does feel pretty balanced in my opinion, and it doesn't cover a huge area, just 3 tiles all around the sprinkler. So I think it goes like 3 out in all directions, and so you can't just like expect one sprinkler to do half a gigantic yard's worth of work. And it's altogether a perfect touch. A perfect touch, and my Sims can now have their lives back instead of being lost watering the plants all day long, stuck in the garden. And now that they can just focus on plucking all of the fantastic fresh fruit and vegetables off of the various plants, that does mean that they can also take care of the canning skill and filling up the root cellar inside of the farmhouse with all sorts of canned goods and jams. But that is going to have to be a custom content review for another day. For now, guys, I really hope you have enjoyed this. I am so in love with these little touches and details. I really think if you take the time to blend together some of the best of what the huge variety of the amazing custom content creators out there in the world have done with a lot of the different game features through all of the different game packs and expansions and stuff packs, and you blend them together, you can end up with some really entertaining and some really amazing situations that don't innately put themselves in the game, but with a little, just a couple tweaks of custom content. This is literally just like 5 pieces of custom content blended together, and it creates an entire illusion of its own little pack. So I hope you've enjoyed this very first booster pack review, and I'm very much looking forward to hopefully pecking away at some more of the farming booster packs, and also dabbling in some of the other custom content that I stumble on to kind of build a more immersive, very unique niche experience. So if you guys have ideas for custom content that I could spotlight, or if you have requests for keeping an eye out for certain boosters that we could design so they kind of help to build a create your own pack for The Sims 4, please let me know down in the comments section, and I shall see you all next time. Bye guys.